Welcome to my channel to everyone who's new here, and of course to those of you who are back again, great to have you here. In this video we will take a look together at possible scenarios for the price development of XRP, Dogecoin, Solana and Cardano. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. And if you also want to trade with cheap taker fees, then I can recommend you the crypto exchange mexc, which has a similar trading volume to Bitget, OKX and Bybit, but as you can see I already highlighted you it here. The taker fees are far much lower than on the other top crypto exchanges, and on top of that you can get an additional 20% discount on those low taker fees if you use my referral link, which you can find in the video description. 100 pers, 0 fees just on mexc, and here you can trade some popular altcoins without any fees on mexc. So let's get to XRP. This candle doesn't look good, and it comes from Bitcoin, because I have told you in the Bitcoin update that Bitcoin is at all-time high area, and whenever we get into an all-time high area, everyone is in profits beside the short sellers, but global players can take profits, and then the price is going to drop. I think this was a 3% push to the downside. Let's take it from the all-time high. Almost 3%, 2.88%. And you can see it in the altcoins even more. So what did we say about XRP? We have said if we break the bright blue trend line to the upside, which we did, we got the retest, we got the follow through. Target is the top area between $2.39.9 to $2.41. With that push to the upside, we went into that area already, but also here was our next push to the upside. We also went into that area. The next target was the $2.44. We didn't get there because Bitcoin made its all-time high, sold off, so XRP sold off simultaneously. What can I expect? So far, I don't want to say it's not looking good, but the first push to the downside is looking scary. And here we have a nice trend line where we can say if we drop lower than that, then it's going to hurt even more. And that's the $2.34. If we don't break the $2.34 to the downside, then this was just a scary move to the downside because people took profits for Bitcoin. Yeah, that happened when we got into all-time highs for Bitcoin quite often. But afterwards, people buy the dip and it can still push to the upside. So I think the chances are high as long as we hold the $2.34 that we can meet the $2.44 to $2.47. So my XRP long trade got triggered with its stop loss in break even. So this was our take profit area. I took profits there, 50% out of the trade, and here I took out another 50% out of the trade because I have seen Bitcoin at all-time high area. Then I took profits for all my altcoins because those kind of movements are happening quite often when we are in all-time high areas. So here, if we say I have $100, then I took out 50% here, not there, here, 50 out of the trade. Here I took another 50% out of the rest of my position, so here it was 25. And the other 25 got hit in stop loss break even. So I'm looking for new entries right now. With that push to the downside, I haven't looked. Yeah, I just got all my notifications that many stop losses got hit of mine. So this was just the small position sizes which I kept. If we push to the upside, then I would have got at least a bit more. But I think I'm out of every trade now. We have to look into the altcoins. So I still stick to the $2.44. If they break to the upside, it would be positive. $2.47.5 is the next target. And if we also break it to the upside, then I think this double bottom pattern or this possible head and shoulders formatation. This is what we built up now. If that breaks to the upside, target for $2.57. But always keep in mind, that's just an orientation. We take profits a bit earlier because something like this can also happen. where we say $2.44 is the target, but we don't meet the $2.44. And if we break now to the downside and we didn't took profits here, yeah, then all the profits are gone. Then why did we trade, right? So if the $2.34 breaks to the downside, then we can meet the area $2.31, the next one $2.30 for XRP. If the $2.30 breaks to the downside, $2.25 is the next target for XRP. So what about Dogecoin? Dogecoin made a good job. I can take this one out here. So we have said that we can still get into the top area of the bull flag again. That's what we did. After that, we consolidated still within the bull flag. And this was the sign for me that we are most likely breaking to the upside. Yeah, that always happens, not always, but it happens quite often that if we are at strong resistance and we keep bouncing on that resistance, the chances are high that we break it to the upside. We broke it to the upside, we retested it. Here it was our long trigger for the push into the top area here, $2.35 to $2.30, 23.7 cents and 23.5 cents. So now I have the numbers right. We got there 50% out of the trade, and I have done the same with XRP. Since Bitcoin did its new all-time high, I took for every coin another 50% out of the trade. So in the end of the day, my position sizes were at 25% in total. The other 55% I took profits. So what now? Dogecoin still looks good to me. We are not back in the bull flag. I don't want to say yet, but we aren't. If we break to the downside again and even get a retest, then it would be negative and we can sell off. If we bounce here and get a push to the upside and break the 23.8 cents, then I think this here was just a rectangle which afterwards breaks to the upside, or even an inverted head and shoulders formatation. Target 26.2 cents, 25.9 cents, and I didn't take the target of the here of the shoulder. Let me take out this one, I forgot it before the video. So looks good to me. Breakout point is here. So we have three targets directing into the area 25.8 cents to 26.2 cents. So this area here, plus minus a bit, is going to get interesting for Dogecoin if we hold the support at the bull flag. So what if we break to the downside? Then I would say the key level here is the 21.9 cents. If they break to the downside and we also break the 21.4 cents to the downside, then I take the spread of that rectangle, put it here to the breakout point, and you can see the target is going to be the lower area of the bull flag with a little stop at 20.2 cents because we have their support. So let's see what Dogecoin is going to do. It's going to get interesting. So what about Solana? We have said here, this is an head and shoulders formatation, shoulder, head, shoulder. If we break the $168.6 to the upside, then this would get invalidated. So I can take this one out. This target never got activated. So I want to show you something. We had here a rectangle. This rectangle here. And when we were here, we broke it to the downside a bit. When we were here, we broke it to the upside a bit. Afterwards, what happened is we take the spread of that rectangle, put it to our breakout point. That's the target. We got into our target. Yeah, we should have put it here and should have went down in one go, but instead we pushed to the upside. In the end of the day, we still met the target. Same can happen to the upside. We have the same setup where we already broke a bit to the upside. We just need to break it again to the upside. So if the 174 US dollar breaks to the upside sustainable, then the target would be the 180 US dollar and 20 cents and 179 US dollar for Solana. It would be negative if we lose the 163 US dollar to the downside. And I think we can push to the downside. So what I've also seen is, but it's now because of the sell-off of Bitcoin, it's not working, I think, anymore. Head and shoulders formatation, which broke to the upside, which got its retest, but the follow through missed. So basically, I don't know if it's going to happen because the head and shoulders formatation got invalidated. It didn't work. We got the setup, we got even the breakout, we got the resistance at 174 US dollar. It was a perfect breakout. That's what we wanted to see, a breakout, a retest, but we needed this. So basically trading right now is kind of difficult. In all-time high areas, I'm quite, I would say I'm looking 2 or 3 times on the chart, more in detail. I'm more careful. Like I said, anytime soon someone can sell off, and then it's going to hurt if we get some FOMO. So we need to see key levels breaking to the upside sustainable in a slow and steady way. Then we can trade it very good. So what about Cardano? Cardano broke out of the falling wedge in purple, which is kind of positive. So I can take the target here, which is the spread of the falling wedge, this one here, and put it to our breakout point. I don't like to put it exactly on the breakout point, I like to put it on the retest. So if this was our retest, target 81.67 cents, but for sure if we retest it several times, for example like this, then we take our target and move it to the lower price, and then the target would also move by a few cents. So far we can say target 81.4 cents. I will also put you here price mark so you can see the exact number. But we have also said that if the falling wedge breaks to the upside, get its retest, we should go into the area 78.5 cents with a high chance, and that high resistance we also have to break to the upside. So here was my trigger to take out even, I took out a bit earlier, 50% out of the trade, but when we were here I also closed 25%. I don't even know if I catched what price tag here I catched, because it went so fast that I have just closed everything with 25%, and I haven't looked at the price. So what now? As long as we keep bouncing, we are keep retesting. I can show you that with Bitcoin. As long as we keep bouncing, like you can see, we kept bouncing on the blue trend line here, we can still get the push to the upside. It's just a bit more scary, but it didn't invalidate our bullish target yet. The push here to the downside didn't invalidate our pattern. So if I'm not in a long trade, then I would wait a little bit more. If we are going to sell off into that falling wedge, or if we are going to maybe consolidate in that area and then push to the upside, or if we find a support, like for example this one here, I have put here a white trend line on the chart. 74.8 cents looks like a good support. If we keep bouncing on that, then we can say, okay, maybe we can jump into a long trade again for the next push, because this is also going to be a huge fair value gap which should get closed. So if we lose the falling wedge, price mark 74 cents at the moment. If we then drop to 71.7 cents, where the chances are very high that we should meet that support again, if we break the falling wedge to the downside again. If we also lose that support, next target 68.3 cents to 69.6 cents for Cardano. So I hope that I gave you some valuable information, and see you in the render, ONDO, SUI and HBAR update. See you.